Hello, my name is Georgianne Ford with the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation, and I'm here today with our returning attorney mediator, Christine Lombardo-Zaun. Welcome back, Christina.
Hi, Georgianne.
Hi, Christine. This is your fifth part of this series that you've been doing about Through a Child's Eyes with divorce, and I believe part three had to do with the damages that occur for the children, what they go through. Moving on to four, the stressors once they were divorced. What were the young adults feeling? And today is once the divorce is final and they begin to date new partners. Is that right?
Yes. And then I just finished off the blog with what advice would these young people give to others?
Great ending. Go for it. We want to hear more.
Yes, I can't believe we're at part five, but these young adults have been so vital in giving me as an attorney mediator really vital information. This helps me when I'm dealing with other parents going through similar situations. And I can share, this anecdotal experience. And I have to tell you, the parents are resonating with it. Like it's sinking in, which is good. The goal is to help people. So the first question I asked in this section was, what was it like when your parents introduced their new partner? And this was interesting. I think the overall word, if I had to collect everybody's responses, was it was strange.
Hmm.
And it felt strange to them. One young person said they felt very uncomfortable when they saw their parents' new partner showing the parent affection. They felt really weirded out. Another young person chimed in though and said, yeah, but I don't miss the fighting. And when we kind of dug a little bit further and I asked, well, what does that mean? This young person was like, well, I grew up in a household that consisted of a lot of fighting and yelling and screaming on an ongoing basis. I didn't know what a healthy relationship should look like. So seeing my parent in what looks like to be a healthy relationship was strange to me. But I was conflicted. Like, they love their parents.
Right.
They wish their parents were together, but yet they're glad they're not because they don't miss the fighting. And so at the end of this discussion, they all agreed that they really do want their parents to be happy, above and beyond everything else. It's just a matter of adjusting to this new strange normal. But I can tell you, it just takes time, you know. And just, as a little sidebar, I don't, if I'm talking to my clients, I don't advocate for them moving into relationships really quickly. I mean, the literature's, published, it's out there, and it's pretty clear. Don't go rushing into one relationship and introducing your kids while you're still going through all of this. It's hard on them, you know.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard on us. I mean, you can only process so much at a time. So that was a big takeaway for me. And I know our parent mediators, when we do that, I think they make the same recommendation. Some of my couples have said, look, you can't introduce your new partner to your children until you are serious, until you are in a committed relationship. And that might mean a 6 month or more, commitment of time.
Makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
they're already struggling. So to have one in the door and then another person in the door is just too much for them.
Well, and if you have that revolving door, that's really not good. And that has happened. Um, and I think parents need to realize that they should be setting an example for what relationships should look like. And so, I tell my clients when we start the process, I'm like, you are now on stage. Everyone's watching. So think carefully about what you say, how you act, what you do, because
Great message.
It's like if you don't want it on the front page of the newspaper or the headlines, don't do it. That's just a good piece of advice, period.
So true.
So that was a really good question. And then I said, okay, I've drilled in. I've asked you guys a lot of questions. What advice would you give to other young adults going through this? Now, mind you, my group of young adults were mostly in college,
Mhm.
and so they had a lot of distractions. It wasn't like they were sitting at home like just wallowing in divorce.
Which is a
They
good thing, right? To have the distractions
It
for.
is. So that's my little disclaimer because, these kids had college. Some of them had sports, some of them had other activities, some of them had jobs. So they were very busy. And they said that that helped. Um, One of them said, which, I mean, their responses I think were really mature for young adults. The one young adult said, it's okay to not be okay. And I was like, wow, that's deep. But yes, it's okay to admit that and then go get some help. The kids that were in college, there's free counseling as a part of your tuition. And some of these kids went and took advantage of that.
I'm just wondering, what are the effects of, especially with kids today, with social media, with how they're,
So, yes, this was huge. This was like the third big thing. They said um, the one young adult was like, stay away from social media. Because what it did to her was she would look on social media and see, happy couples, happy families. And she said to herself early on that, she lost her family. And over time, she realized, well, she didn't lose her family. She lost that unit. But yet everybody's still there for her, but just in different ways. And so she was learning to adapt to that new normal. But social media, she was quick to realize that um, not everything that's posted on social media is accurate or true, right? Like
we only put the good stuff.
only put the good stuff out there and the happy stuff. And it's funny, I responded by saying, I'd known a couple who they were always on social media and they were bragging about how great life is and they were the happiest people on the planet. And I remember like saying, there's no way you can be that happy all the time. It's just not reality. So a couple years go by and they had like this nasty divorce. And so I was like, there it is. you know What's that
Nobody
saying? You
life is
believe half of what you see and none of what you hear?
Mhm,
Good advice.
mhm. You're full of good advice today.
Today I'm rolling with it. But yeah, these kids, I was so thankful, seeing the transition over time by interviewing them and asking them, I felt like I could see a lot of healing happening. Um, so, I would love to, see if we could take this a step further and maybe hit another age group.
Mhm.
Um, this was a unique age group because they can articulate what they want to say and they want to articulate what they want to say. They want to be heard. So it was sort of easy on my end, but there's other kids that need to be heard as well, different age groups.
And I think that would just be really another helpful series for us because all of this has been a learning for, even if you're not going through a divorce, to just, if it's a possibility down the road,
Yeah.
what do these kids go through? Um, and how can we do it the best we can to
And
help?
remember, they didn't ask for this.
Right. This was a great series. We would love to see a different age group if you decide to go that route or a different topic, but we thank you for helping us out and coming and speaking to this, all of us. And if any of you want to talk to Christine about this or anyone at the Alpha Center for divorce mediation, we definitely want you to call 1-800-310-9085. Any of your questions are important to us. Christine, thanks, and we look forward to you coming back.
Always good to see you.
Same here. Bye now.